Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Ritt. I'm an artist and a tarot reader, and this is our collective reading for the week. Okay, there's some stuff we're moving on from, and actually, the thing that I'm thinking of, the headlines that are popping into my mind's eye as I see this message is that a lot of us are leaving work, because it was never enough. And that feeling of drudgery, really burning ourselves out, expending all our energies, that is not a lifestyle that can sustain itself as readily anymore, right? So I feel like that's the first message that I'm getting. Yeah, so we're at a really interesting kind of crossroads is what I'm seeing. There is this feeling of, it feels as if we're resolved to leave situations in which we've been draining ourselves or working really hard and maybe not feeling the same level of appreciation for the work that we've been putting in. So there's situations like that, right? And it's almost like we have that resolve, but the flip side is we're still at kind of an uncomfortable in between where we haven't yet fully learned how to intuit what to do next, and maybe even be comfortable with intuiting what to do next, because there is something kind of easier about just working ourselves into the ground without having to tune in to how we're really feeling or to the word I'm getting that old the 60s phrase it tune in, turn on, drop out, right? So it's like we're still learning how to turn on. We're still learning about our passions. We're still learning how to trust our dreams. We're still learning that our dreams even exist and that we can trust what they tell us, that is vital information for us to have and to live by, right? So yeah, so it's interesting. It's like we've reached an end point in terms of what we're no longer willing to put up with. That's the way this reads to me. But we're also still in the process of allowing our higher selves to inform us, what to do next, what to focus in on next, regardless of even if we've quit the job or not, okay, so maybe we're ready to leave, but we're still in the job, Our higher selves understand instinctively what we need to focus in on. It might not even be quitting that job. It might be kind of reestablishing a relationship between ourselves and what we're passionate about, So yeah, so the way this feels to me, it's like we're still kind of feeling the lack of the thing that we want to leave behind. And maybe we're just starting to approach, or the way this reads actually is it's a little bit more like there is a need for us to celebrate. And if we can't fully celebrate, then appreciate the things that give us life, the things that do breathe life into us, the things that sustain us, the things that we know intuitively sustain us. So to celebrate where we are, which I understand might be a bit of a tall order for some of us, right? At very least to appreciate those things that we maybe even just have an inkling that we would rather be doing than working ourselves into the ground. So some of that is coming through as well. And it's interesting. This is an interesting combination of fire and earth and water. And so we've got these really practical energies, right? So we've got Knight of Pentacles. This is that worker bee feel, right? This is doing, maybe there's one way to do it. There's a right way, there's a practical way, and it's hard work and it's heavy. This is a heavy energy. He's kind of in this past position here, you know, so he's reversed. So it does feel like we're at this crossroads, right? And he's touching this energy here, which is fire, 9 of Wands or rods. This is that energy that speaks to moving on. So it's like, been there, done that, right? So that's our resolve. We're ready to move on. And I do kind of feel like there is that, the words I'm getting are smoldering passions. So fire is a naturally passionate element, right? So there's the practicality of earth, which is kind of jarring against the joy and the passion and the all of that fiery quality that's right there, that's wanting to kind of breathe and emit, right? So that's happening. And again, here too, we have 5 of Pentacles. This is that feeling of lack. This is that out in the cold, limiting energy that, even so, it's telling us something important. That's what I'm getting. It's communicating. It's communicating our need for more, right? So this is kind of where we are right now. There's a definite need for more, but again, it's touching this beautiful fire energy that's all about celebration and celebrating what we've accomplished, right? Some of that too. This is a marker in time of celebration. It's also just what I'm getting are our wildness, our joy, our joy. So it's almost like, again, it's that kind of smoldering feeling of, we're here. This is very defined, that feeling of it's not enough, right? But this says celebrate what's more than enough, because these things that we're passionate about, these dreams that we have, they are also a reality. And that needs to be a little bit more in the foreground. It can't just be, I quit my job and I'm done, right? It doesn't work that way. So that's what I'm getting, is this really joyful, wild, beautiful, freeing energy. Fire is also about personal freedom, right? So this freeing energy wants to come forward. So yeah. So ask yourselves, what are you passionate about? What sets you free? What makes you feel free, even if you're in a cubicle and you hate the job? You know, what is that thing that when you think about it, it lights you up? What is that thing? Or what are those things? What are those dreams? That's the energy I'm getting that needs to come forward so that it doesn't just continue to smolder or suffocate. You know, like, don't tamp it down. So I'm going to see if there isn't any other helpful information here that maybe could cap this reading. That little bit of water I'm getting too, that's about messages and receiving. Yeah. Full energy too. It's time to take that leap into unknown territory. And I feel like that means it doesn't even have to be about direct action. It means opening up to the things that light us up, that we're passionate about, and having faith that those exist, that they really can sustain us, that they are life-giving, that we can have new life. All of those things are in the mix, right? So, yeah. We have to trust in our ability to receive the things that we truly want to receive. That it's not all just in other muddled, uncertain emotion. We have to trust in our ability to have the things that we truly want. And that goes for me too. That is absolutely a message for me in all of my humanity. It's so important to remember that we are worthy of receiving the things that we dream about, the things, again, the things that just, that captivate us, that give us new life. We are worthy of those things. So, yeah. And again, the way this reads to me, it's like we've got 8 of Cups here, reversed. So here we have a lot of water turned in on itself. Water speaks to that emotional undercurrent of things, as well as our psychic and intuitive knowing. So this person is moving away from a difficult emotional situation. Here it feels almost like we're in the process of moving away, right? But we're still kind of holding on. So it's push-pull, right? We're kind of in an emotional push-pull with ourselves where we want it to be as simple as physically leaving the job, but the emotions are still there. So the emotions tell us that it's time to move in a new direction, whether or not we even leave that job. It's time to move in a new direction in our mind's eye. It's time to process some of what we're feeling and trust that we can have a new direction. Trust that we can have a new beginning. That's what the Fool energy is also speaking to, right? It's really not just about leaving the job. That's the thing that I keep coming back to, right? It's like it's time to trust that we can have more. And it's time to nourish ourselves on an emotional level, that these old situations that we felt stuck in were the polar opposite of. So it's like, we know that on one level, they were really not satisfying, right? But this is saying it's time to engage with ourselves emotionally, and it's time to be intimate with our dreams, right? It's time to, again, to really cultivate more of what lights us up. That's what I'm getting here, because we can have that. And not only can we have that, but we deserve to have that. That is the stuff of life, right? So to recap, it feels like we're maybe in the beginning stages of leaving behind some situations that are really not satisfying, and specifically around a job or work or feeling like we need to provide in a certain way, right? I'm getting that too. That's all of that Pentacles Earth energy. It speaks to our material realm, how we do earn money, how we value self or not, how we work, how we organize, how we plan, how we function. All of that is in the process of changing for us. And we are starting to really understand what doesn't work anymore, right? So we have that initial readiness to leave behind what doesn't work anymore. And again, I'm really thinking and feeling job stuff, career stuff, maybe family stuff for some of us, our relationship to money, our relationship to our resources, all of the things within those things that made us feel stuck, we are ready to leave behind. But the next part of that is, what are we leaving those behind for? What's worth it for us? What is lighting us up? What are we dreaming about? What are we really passionate about? What feeds our soul? Those are the other questions. They're not as linear. They're not as, they can be straightforward, but they're not necessarily as straightforward. It's different levels of understanding that go beyond the physical, right? Beyond the tangible. It's what feels really satisfying. How do we tap into those feelings that are satisfying? And sometimes, how can that be enough for now? It feels like we are about to take an adventure of the mind, of the spirit, of the heart, and soul. And so we have to be willing to go there. And it kind of has to be uncertain. That's what the Fool gets at, right? The Fool is about the leap of faith, right? So it has to be uncertain in a sense. We have to let our intuition lead. We have to let that nonlinear part take the lead. And when we do that, that's when we reap the rewards. That's when we start to feel better and let that be enough, right? So, yeah, so we've begun something just by realizing that where we're at, it isn't enough. That's a beginning. We've begun something. Now it's time to tune into what we do want and really own that differently. Allow ourselves to just have it for us, first and foremost. It's not about proving to anyone else, right? It's about really cultivating and really seeing, seeing in different ways. So this feels like a bit of an ethereal reading, right? And I realize that it kind of has to be, because we're in this territory. It is what it is. I hope that you can take from it what you will. I hope that at least parts of it are helpful for you. I hope that you all have a wonderful week. I hope that you have new adventures, and I hope that you're able to connect in different ways with the things that truly give you new life. Because that is super, super important right now. It's everything that this reading is pointing to, and it's everything that we can have for ourselves if we stay open to that. And again, I hope that you all have a satisfying week. And if you like this video, if you resonated with it, go ahead and hit the like button. If you have not yet subscribed, if you'd like to see more of these, I do these once a week. And lately I've been just posting the shorter video. I used to just post those on other social media, but I'm posting the shorter kind of condensed little nugget version as well with captioning. So yeah, I do that regularly, weekly. And yeah, so if you'd like to see those weekly, go ahead and subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. If you're interested in supporting me and this channel, go ahead and check out my Patreon. The link is down below. And I will see you all again soon. Bye for now.